Fulton will be the libero here in the JV game. And that kill attempt by Sacred Heart finds the line on the back row. Point Sacred Heart, 12-7. Lady Knights. And that serve crawls up the arm of our back row and out the back for a point, Sacred Heart. Serve is finding the floor. Now Morgan will have a seat. They seem to trade off her and Kendall. Perry now in on the back row for Minneapolis. There's a good hit by Emily Fleming. It's in. Point Minneapolis. On a nice set by Chantel Darrow. Riley Boyer will serve now for Minneapolis. Sacred Heart's pass to the front is good. Nice block by Chantel, and that's out. Evidently, it was tipped. We're in the net. Minneapolis in the net. Point Sacred Heart. They give it back. We'll take it. 15-8 Sacred Heart. Lady Knights now serving. And Kendall gave it a look. It was out. Tacey Pounds back in for Minneapolis to play the back row. Chantel setting on the front row. Now Emily Fleming and Kendall up front. I guess it would be Kendall that would be setting, I'm thinking. Hit, it's out. And Tacey Pounds serving now for Minneapolis. That's a big hit by Wilkins. Sacred Heart, she had a ton of them in the JV game. 16-10, short. Set by Tacey. It's out. Attack by Emily Fleming goes out wide. Point Sacred Heart. Very short. Shea could not get there. That almost landed on the front row in front of the 10-foot line. That's a long ways to go from the back row. Jump serve. Kendall with the dig. And Shea has to play it up to the front row for three. And that's a winner by Sacred Heart. We could not get to it. Nice pass by Shea. Bumped on a cross by Kendall. He winds up. There's a hit by Wilkins again. And Coach Frazier calls timeout. Sacred Heart up 20-10, and we'll be back right after this 1 minute timeout. We're back. Sacred Heart serving. Shea with pass up to Tacey Pounds now. Kayla Briggs with a nice hit. And Sacred Heart recovers now. Kayla bumps it up, and it cannot be handled by Minneapolis. Point Sacred Heart, 21-10. Short. Shea comes and gets it. And Emily Fleming with a good hit on the outside. Now Emily Fleming serving for Minneapolis. It's out. Point Sacred Heart now serving. Kendall with the set to Shea. That's a good kill. Shoemaker with some elevation hammers it down. Point Minneapolis. Kayla Briggs will serve for Minneapolis. Riley Boyer with the hit. That's out. Point Minneapolis. Now Kayla Briggs still serving. 22-13. Minneapolis trailing here. Nice dig by Tacey and Kendall. All she can do is bump it and not at the right spot. And it goes out of bounds. Point 2, Minneapolis. (23-13) Sacred Heart. I don't understand when you play as many games together as they do, how you can get out of sequence, and that's exactly what Sacred Heart did, and probably
what I did. I wasn't nowhere right there I was because I seen it happen.
I didn't know anything about it until just now. Sounds like something that would have happened to me though. And I'd have probably had to laugh.
okay. Sub Minneapolis. Chantel back in for Minneapolis. Kendall Harry will serve, and we're trailing 14-23. And we need a bunch. Here we go. Serves over in good shape. Back set. Riley didn't come get it. Our middle is not ready to hit. Kendall with the bump on the back row to Chantel. Nice set. And Riley's hit goes in the net. Point Sacred Heart, and they're serving for the game right here, 24-14. It's out, long. Shea Shoemaker serving for Minneapolis. Nice block. With the tip by Riley, she is called for a lift, and that's the way that'll end. 25-15. We'll trade ends and do it one more time. Second game of the second match on with this JV squad. We've got another JV squad playing over at Salina South Middle School. And I hope they're having a little better luck than what we're having over here. So the JV squads are split up with a couple of the varsity girls playing down on this JV squad here, and we're ready for the second game, second match. Sacred Heart's won everything so far. Nice bump by Shea. Kayla Briggs with a nice attack at the net. Big hit, a block by Kendall Perry, and Kayla Briggs. I have to wait for the tape, but I don't know if that was Kayla or probably Kayla. Emily Fleming with a nice serve. Outside set by Sacred Heart, goes out the back, point Minneapolis. 2-zip, and that's a good start. Next one's in the net, and with Raleigh scoring, it's point Sacred Heart. 1-2, Sacred Heart is behind, set by Kendall. Shea with a attack at the net. And that tip by Tacey goes out of bounds. Point Sacred Heart. Oh, hate that when that happens. It's good, and that is a point for Sacred Heart. This ref hasn't quite liked the rotation that Sacred Heart has been into here of late. They're playing with the same girls they played it over in the other gym, with the exception of one player. I guess she's okay with it, and away we go. Tacey with a nice pass to the front, and Shea with a kill. You've got elevation like that, you can hammer it down to the floor, and that's exactly what she did there. Now Riley Boyer back in for the libero, will play the front row. Kayla Briggs serving Minneapolis. Set. Our middle is reluctant to hit. Nice set. Point Sacred Heart. There we go. Tipped at the net by Sacred Heart. It goes in on the other side. Point Minneapolis on a kill attempt by Shea Shoemaker from the 10-foot line. Now Kendall Perry will serve for Minneapolis. Sacred Heart has to go get it. It's over, and their third hit goes in the net. Point Minneapolis. Kendall serves a little deeper this time. Oh, and that's out. Point Minneapolis as Sacred Heart's kill goes out the back line. It's over in good shape. The bump goes over and out of bounds. Point Minneapolis. And that was close to going out. Kendall with a serve. Stuff at the net, and we get caught with a lift. Point Sacred Heart, 7-5 Minneapolis. Chantel with a pass to the front goes under the net. We can't get there. Set on a cross by Shea is a big hit by Semino. And there are two of them out there. Looks like a set of twins. Nice tip by Chantel as pass came up to her setter and side out to Minneapolis, 8-8, Shea Shoemaker, and that's long. Chantel with a nice set, and Emily Fleming with a hit that Sacred Heart's able to handle. Now Kendall, Riley, there we go. Now she's got one. Riley Boyer with the kill. Now she will serve. That's out. So far, Sacred Heart's kill attempts have been out the back row. Raleigh with another good serve, and Sacred Heart can't get to it. Kayla Briggs in the corner, it's in. 12-9 Minneapolis. Oh, that was a nice block. Chantel. And that crawls over. Emily Fleming with a nice attack at the net. Sacred Heart's able to recover. Tip. And Shea's pass goes over. So does Kayla's pass. Now Emily Fleming on the wing. Sets our middle. Back row. There we go. Oh, I thought we had that one down. Now Sacred Heart, nice dig by Kendall. Kayla Briggs, nice hit. And
good volley, girls.
Tried to protect the corner there, and it went out the back. Nice dig by Shea. And Kayla a little out of sequence there with the feet. Her attack goes in the net. 12-11 Minneapolis. Shea's pass up to Chantel. Emily Fleming. That's out.
Try, Emily.
Net. 13-12 Minneapolis. Now J.C. Pounds back in for Chantel. Will serve. Our libero is in. Oh, a tape shot. That's good. Connor Fulton, the libero, there in the white shirt. And almost another tape shot by J.C. Pounds. A nice serve. Back row, Shea, pass to the front, Tacey. Emily Fleming. It's tipped by Sacred Heart. And that one came on across, but hit the net. Ball came on across, and both players went across the net, so they're going to call it a do-over. 14-13 Minneapolis. Shea's pass is in good shape. Tacey. That was out. Emily Fleming to serve. Minneapolis leading 15-13. That's a nice serve. A dagger headed down to the floor. Top spin. Semino could not handle it. And that one drops. Sacred Heart a little out of sorts here as Minneapolis drops one in. Nice serve. 4 in a row by Emily have been perfect. Nice set by Kendall. Kayla Briggs with the tip. They were there to block. She tips it to the backside, to the left side, and it drops in. A point Minneapolis, 18-13. And we've got a quick 1-minute timeout as Sacred Heart's coach wants to talk about this. We'll be back in just a minute. Emily Fleming still serving for Minneapolis. 5 in a row now by Emily, and Sacred Heart having trouble. Shoemaker with a big hit, and Kayla Briggs with the dig, tipped on across by Sacred Heart, and they're in the net. Point Minneapolis, 19-13. And that would be my daughter. They're everywhere, they're everywhere. Oh, that's a nice serve. Emily Fleming on a roll here. About 6 or 7 in a row now. (20-13). That was deep, and Wilkins, normally fairly sure on the back row, just tips that one down to the floor. 21-13. Emily rears back and hammers one across, and Shea Shoemaker with the hit. There's another one by Shea, is handled by Sacred Heart. And Emily, Tacey, and that hit goes long. Point to Sacred Heart. Tacey's pass to Kendall's set was just a little bit out, so Shea tipped it on across. It worked okay. Now Riley Boyer back in for the libero. The libero cannot play the front row. Nice serve by Kayla Briggs. And we're there to block, but Sacred Heart's attack does not go over and scored a point, Minneapolis. 23-14. Get down. Now Sacred Heart bumps it on across and 3 pounds with a nice middle. And it's stuffed by Sacred Heart, and we recover. Kayla Briggs hammers it on across, and there Sacred Heart's attack by their middle goes out the back for a point, Minneapolis. 24-14, this is game point right here. Kayla Briggs serves over in good shape. And that's out the back. We win that. We were due. 25-14 Minneapolis, and we'll play the third game of this match. We'll be back with that in about a minute. Third game of this match, JV versus Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart won the first one, Minneapolis the second. We're getting ready to go here. And the libero in right away as Connor Fulton comes in. Sacred Heart gets it across, but then we have to dive to catch that pass as it came across and scored a point, Sacred Heart. That one's short. Clear up to the 10-foot line. Drops in for a point. Now Sacred Heart up 2-0. Kayla Briggs, and that's tipped at the net. The Sacred Heart's going to have to go get it. Nice recovery by Lady Knights. Now middle attack by Kayla Briggs. Sacred Heart's outside, and pass by Shea is going to make it over, and it's the winner. Back row with her back to the net and hammers it across for a winner. Now Emily Fleming, who reeled off about 7 in a row in the second game, and we cannot recover. Point Sacred Heart. Not. Pass went straight up in the air. Emily Fleming had to backpedal to bump it forward and should have bumped it instead of setting. Double hit by Kendall. Another point, Sacred Heart. They stuff us at the net. Shea comes to get the set. Nice attack by Shea. And it bounces back on our side for a point, Sacred Heart. Nice back set. Kayla Briggs with the attack at the net, and it goes out wide to the left. Point Sacred Heart. Tipped on across by Sacred Heart. And that's a nice block by Kayla Briggs. Point Minneapolis. Now Riley Boyer comes in for our libero.
Nice serve.
And Sacred Heart with a kill on the back row, and it's in for a point. Now the libero comes back in for Kayla Briggs. Back row. Stuffed by Sacred Heart as our pass goes across the net. And we cannot dig it out. There's a nice set. Now tipped by Riley Boyer. Now Chantel in for Tacey Pounds. And she'll set. Kendall's serve is over. Oh, what a dig by Shea, and she bumps it on across. Sacred Heart's there. And Kendall gets mixed up with Emily, and that doesn't work. There, Riley bumps it on over. Chantel or someone there is in the net. Minneapolis in the net. Point Sacred Heart. This goes into 15. We better get hot. Bumped by Kendall. Chantel tips it on across. We need a set. And that pass goes out of bounds. Point Sacred Heart. And that's out the back. Point Minneapolis. Shea will serve for Minneapolis. (12-4), and we've got a rotation problem with Sacred Heart. Point Minneapolis. That's out the back. 13-5. Nice dig by Kendall. Chantel with a pass was way to the left. Chantel had to go to get it. They just bump it on across. Now Kendall with the set. Emily Fleming. It's blocked by Sacred Heart. And that's tipped. And that's tipped out the back. Point Sacred Heart, and we evidently are playing to 25. Time of the third game is 15 points, and sometimes it's 25. We're going to 25 on this one as Coach Frazier calls the timeout. And we'll be back after this timeout. Sacred Heart serving, leading by 10. Kendall's pass not good, and Riley's able to get there, and then Chantel bumps it on across. Just missed the line. Kendall cannot get there with that serve by Sacred Heart. And Kendall has to come all the way to the 10-foot line and cannot get there. We have the luxury of a deep bench here as Morgan comes in for Kendall on the back row. Short serve by Sacred Heart does not make it across, and side out to Minneapolis. Riley Boyer's serve goes across. It's a tape shot. (18-7) Sacred Heart. Riley Boyer. Shea with a nice pass. Morgan. That's out of bounds. Riley. And Sacred Heart cannot handle it. And that's out. (19-9) Semino for Sacred Heart. Pass is good by Morgan. Now Kayla Briggs. Morgan sets good. Kayla's middle attack is stuffed by Sacred Heart. There's a tip by Emily. Nice set by Chantel. Kayla is called for a lift as she tips it on across. Emily Fleming with a nice skill attempt. That's good. (21-10) Minneapolis. Now our libero comes back in, Connor Fulton. Stacy Pound's serve is good shape. Now Shea. Emily Fleming. That goes out the back. Now Pounds. Minneapolis trailing by 10. 11-21. Now Sacred Heart with an attack at the net. Shea with a dig on the back row. That's out. And point Minneapolis. Emily Fleming with an attack at the net. Nice set. Now Shea with a good dig on the back row. Another one, that's out. Now Sacred Heart with a 10-point lead, 22-12. Serves. And the pass goes out of bounds. 23-12. And Morgan with an attack goes in the net, and point to Sacred Heart. Shea with a nice dig. Now Emily Connor's going to have to bump it on across. That's out. Sacred Heart down to match point. And Emily Fleming for Minneapolis calls up the arm of the Sacred Heart DS. Now Tacey with a bump. Morgan set. Briggs with a big hit. And there's Sacred Heart's out of bounds. Point Minneapolis. 24-14. Sacred Heart's bump, and the tip, we can't get there, and that's it. 25-14, that's the way the first game was, 25-14. Minneapolis takes them to 3, and we'll be back with varsity action here in about 15 minutes. Getting ready for the varsity match, last match of the night. Starting lineup for Minneapolis: Megan Donovan, Krista Seamers, Chantel Darrow, Krista Frazier, and the middle. We go as Jordan Crossan goes. In the middle is 6-foot senior Jordan Crossan. We'll be back with the start of this match. Final match of the night here in a minute. I'm wrong. Minneapolis will serve first, and that would be Megan Donovan. Start this match. Serves good. Schmidberger with this, and nice stuff by Jordan Crossan. Net play, oh so important here, as Whitman is stuffed at the net. 1-0 Minneapolis. Donovan serve is out. Whitman's jump serve goes to the back row. We take it. Crossan bumps it on over. Whitman with the set. DeVries. And that's a lift. Chantel with a nice pass to the front. Crossan with a big hit. And Sacred Heart digs it on the back row. Now DeVries with the pass to Frazier with a nice set. Crossan with another big hit. And Sacred Heart's able to dig it. Now Seamers. And that's out. Power play by Minneapolis. No tipping there. Everyone's rearing back, swinging hard. And Seamers with the big kill. She will serve. Sacred Heart set right in the middle, and they hammer it down for a point. Seamer's pass comes to Crossan. Now Frazier bumps it on across. Line judge wasn't asked. It was the referee there. (4-2) Sacred Heart. Frazier. Nice set. DeVries with the attack at the net. Nice dig by Donovan. DeVries again. It's blocked. Point Sacred Heart. Schmidtberger, a sophomore, is a very outstanding player up front for Sacred Heart. Tipped by Crossan over the top. They were there to block. The two Lady Knights in front of her. One was 6-1, so to play that one over the top. Now Frazier. And that hits the floor. Casey Pounds in for Minneapolis. She subs in for Chantel and plays the front row. Krista with another nice serve. Whitman. Pratt. Oh, what a block. Big block by Crossan. Stuff kill. And it's point Minneapolis, 5-5. Jordan Crossan with great position now. Whitman with the jump set. And it goes to our back row. We cannot handle it. Should be some pretty good volleyball here in this match. That's out. Minneapolis ranked third in the fourth in the state, Class 2A. Sacred Heart ranked fourth, I believe, in 3A. Crossan's serve is good. The libero tracks it down for Sacred Heart. Now the back row. Seamers, Frazier. What a dig by Megan. Call 4 shots by Minneapolis. I thought it was blocked by Sacred Heart and touched, but referee did not see it that way. Point Sacred Heart. Frazier's pass on the money, Pounds, and that's stuffed clear to the back. It's tipped by Minneapolis and goes out the back row. Point Sacred Heart. That's out. Now DeVries. Good hard serve, low liner. What a block by Donovan, but it goes out of bounds on the net attack by Sacred Heart, Lady Knights. Nice pass by Jordan Cross and tipped by Donovan. Now Seamers. That's out. Love you. Bye. Nice serve by Tacey Pounds. Sacred Heart just knocks it on across. It's a tip by Megan. They're going to block. We're going to tip. A nice placement by Megan Donovan. They do give us her point. Libero knocks it on across. Now Donovan. It's tipped on a big hit by Krista Seamers. That should be 4. We recover. They hit it 4.
Come on, you gotta see that.
4. I'll yell it. Now Chantel back in for Tacey. 10-9 Sacred Heart. Jordan tipped on over by Chantel. It does hit the floor. Point Minneapolis. Donovan serving for Minneapolis. It's all knotted up. Whitman jump set. And Katie Pratt with the kill goes down to the floor.
Haley Hendricks back in for the Knights.
Short. Seamers sets it across. Now Pratt with a big hit. It's dug out the back by Chantel. Now tipped it. Frazier now crossing. Right off Katie Pratt's hands. It goes out of bounds. Nice kill by Jordan Crossan. Big hit. 11-11. And Sacred Heart kill goes to the back row. We cannot dig it out. 12-11 Lady Knights. Nice pass by Megan. Krista sets Jordan. That's out of bounds. That might have been tipped, but not that time. Point Sacred Heart. And Jessica DeVries cannot handle that serve. Ladies need a side out right here as Sacred Heart's serve goes to the back row and our pass goes under the net. And Coach Mack wants to talk about it as Sacred Heart takes a 15-11 lead. Back with the action. Johnson serving for Sacred Heart with a 15-11 lead. Donovan's pass right on the money to Krista Frazier, and we've got the tip. It's good. It's there. They're there to block Jordan every time, so she's tipping it on across. Krista will serve for Minneapolis. Whitman. And that attack by Schmidberger is down on our side. Point, Lady Knights. Jump serve by Schmidberger. Jordan is stuffed at the net and tipped again. (17-12) Sacred Heart. Schmidberger, a sophomore. That one's into that. Point Minneapolis. And Jordan Crossan serves for Minneapolis. Nice serve. Whitman with the pass to Schmidberger. Pratt's slam to the back row. Handcuffs or DS, and it goes out of bounds. Point, Lady Knights. Frazier's pass. Tacey Pounds set. Whitman with the kill from the outside. Nice dig by Frazier. DeVries. Lady Knights recover, but Whitman's attack from the 10-foot line goes out the back. Jessica DeVries now serving for Minneapolis. Serve. Schmidberger back set. That got to her. Like a jam finger on that one. As Pratt hammers one down for point, Lady Knights. A little indecisive about taking it. Looked like it may have gone out, but then again, it was too close to let go, and Coach Mack wants another timeout with the score 21-14. As they stated when they broke huddle, pick it up, and they need to, trailing by 7 as Sacred Heart looking for the sweep. Jump serve by Pratt is out. Katie Pratt, Jr., 6'1", has played since she was a freshman. Now Tacey Pounds for Minneapolis. Serve is in good shape. Whitman set. Tape shot. Bumped up by Donovan. Now Seamers tips it over. And Whitman turns around to hammer it across, and Pratt knocks it on across for Minneapolis. Tipped by Minneapolis. So far, we have had some success with the tip, but you can't live on that all night long. Pounds again with the serve. Lady Knights in the net. Point Minneapolis. Now the libero comes back in for Sacred Heart. Francis. Pounds still serving for Minneapolis. We're back in it if we get this point. Nice dig by DeVries. Good block by Megan, and what a dig by Seamers, and she pounds one across. Is blocked by Sacred Heart. That's tipped. Sacred Heart stuffs it back. Now Whitman with a big hit. Johnson from the outside just hits in just an easy shot. Just trickles one in there and drops in the middle for a point. 22-17. Chantel back in to play the front row. Whitman. Frazier, nice set. Seamers, it's going to draw. Sacred Heart gets it. Drops on our side. Point Lady Knights, and it's 23-17 all of a sudden. Crossing with a nice pass. Donovan, good. 23-19, and Megan will serve.
Go, Megan.
Nice block. Crossing with the stuff. Now, attack. Seamers goes wide. Out the back. Point Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart does play a couple seniors. Donovan saves that one, and Seamers bumps it on across. Now, middle attack by Pratt, and it's a stuff kill by Jordan Crossan. That was very timely as Pratt lined up the big hit in the middle, and Crossan hammers it back in her face. Point Minneapolis, 24-19 now. Whitman, tape shot. And they said Jessica DeVries crossed over the line for a point. Sacred Heart, and that's the way. (25-19). We'll switch ends and play again. Here we go, second game, second match. Whitman, jump serve, Sacred Heart, and it goes almost to the football field. At least made it to the Algebra 1 room. Now Seamers for Minneapolis. Back set. Whitman, nice dig by Frazier. DeVries bumps it on across. Whitman, Pratt, nice dig on the back row. Another nice dig at the net by Krista. And we cannot pull it out of the net. Nice try. Johnson, Sacred Heart. Oh, what a save by Frazier. Sure, it went by the outside of that antenna, but it's just me looking at it from this angle. Now Sacred Heart out the back row. Point Minneapolis. What a save by Krista Frazier over here to keep that ball in play. It looked as if possibly could have went by on the outside of that antenna, but she will serve. That's not going over. Pratt with the attack of the net, and Minneapolis had her number that time. Frazier still serving for Minneapolis. And that pass by Donovan was out the back. Should be, and they call that a jump ball for some reason. I thought it was supposed to give a point to Sacred Heart, but Frazier. That's an ace. Blocked at the net by Jordan, but it ricochets out of bounds. Point too many Sacred Heart. Now Schmidberger, the sophomore. Jump serve. Short now. Crossan's attack. It's good. Sacred Heart could not get to it. And tape shot by Jordan will not crawl over the net. Point Sacred Heart. That's so close with the top spin of crawling on over the tape. There's a short one. Seamers. Now DeVries could have been called with 2 hits. What a block. Donovan. Big stuff kill by Megan Donovan. DeVries now for Minneapolis. Leans back and rocks one across. Out, Whitman, the outside is stuffed. Now Krista Seamers. That's tipped by Pratt. And it drops in. Point, Lady Knights.
Lauren Wilson for the Knights.
Jump serve by Pratt. Now the set to Frazier, Seamer could only get a hand on it. It was just enough because it landed where Sacred Heart could not get to it. Point Minneapolis. Tacey Pounds on the serve for Minneapolis. And DeVries with the dig. Frazier with a wonderful dig in the net. Sacred Heart recovers. Now Frazier. Donovan. And the outside kill by Abby Whitman. Bounces out of bounds off Minneapolis. Minneapolis leading 7-5. Back set, Donovan. Tipped by Whitman. Now Johnson from the outside is stuffed by Donovan. There's another one. And they just set it on across. Had enough of that. Seamers. Tipped at the net. Point. No. Overturned by the referee on the floor. It was not tipped. And the ball goes to Sacred Heart. Whitman now serving for Lady Knights. No jump serve this time. Now Frazier, a nice pass. Seamers tips it. Whitman. And the kill attempt by Johnson on the outside is out of bounds. Point Minneapolis. Whitman set to Schmidberger. She tried to take something off of it and tip it, and it didn't make it to the net. Donovan. Schmidberger leans back and rocks one across now. Seamers. And Whitman up to block Jordan, and it falls on our side. Point Sacred Heart. Jordan crossing with a big hit from the outside, and Hall could not bring it up. Now Francis, the libero, goes in. Point Minneapolis 10-7. Big blue. Or today, big red. It's tipped on the back row by Seamers, and it ricocheted over to Chantel, and neither one could recover. Jordan Crossan with a big attack from the middle. And Sacred Heart didn't get a hand on it, but it drops down on their side. Point Minneapolis. Krista will serve for Minneapolis. Serve is over in good shape. I can't remember us missing a serve tonight yet. Wow, what a block. Crossan pounds. It wasn't coming through. Point Minneapolis on a nice stuff by our net play. And Schmidberger, outside hitter. She's pretty impressive for a sophomore. Has got a pretty good swing at the ball, and now will show off her jump serve, which is not an easy thing to accomplish. Kind of a half-hearted one. Casey Pounds with a rocket to the back line, and it's a lift by Sacred Heart. They cannot handle that hit by Pounds. Now Crossan rocks back and hammers one over. That's out. Schmidberger with the set, and Pratt out of bounds. Just a little tip on across, and it drops. And that's net serve. It's not going over. Point Minneapolis. Thank you very much. DeVries for Minneapolis. Nice low liner. Schmidberger across the middle court under the net. That's a point Minneapolis, and Minneapolis takes the 16-10 lead, and we'll be back after this timeout. Here we go, Jessica DeVries serving for Minneapolis. Whitman. What a block by Seamers. And Pounds hits it on across. Schmidberger, Whitman with the backhand. She's left-handed. It's blocked. Saved by Pounds. Now Frazier on across for Minneapolis. Pratt doinks one over. Now Frazier sets the middle. Donovan. It's good. Definitely good. We've got plenty of height. Newhauer in now, 6-footer for Sacred Heart. DeVries. Nice serve. Left. Minneapolis now with a commanding 8-10 lead. Six foot, 6'1", and a bunch of 5'10s. DeVries. Wow. Whitman with a monster hit. Is blocked at the net. It goes clear to the other side of the court and out of bounds. Point, Sacred Heart. Now Pratt. Pass goes on across. Frazier set. Seamers. Newhauer with the left. Minneapolis. Side out. Tacey Pounds now serving. And Sacred Heart's kill to the back line, goes out the back. Now Chantel back in for Pounds. Sacred Heart trailing by 7 here, 12-19, Minneapolis with a nice lead. Chantel with a nice set. Our attack is stuffed at the net by Sacred Heart. Schmidberger with a big kill for Sacred Heart in the middle. The sophomore. (14-19). Nice set in the middle. It's out. It's out. Good call. Or it looked like it anyway from here. DeVries set goes out the back. We go collect it, and DeVries knocks it back over. It's in. (21) is Sarah Hall, one of the few seniors on this floor right now for Sacred Heart. Now Donovan. Schmidberger comes to get it as the set is close to the net. Now crossing. Freight and Seamers hits a dart to the back row, and Sacred Heart cannot handle it. It goes out of bounds. Point Minneapolis, and Minneapolis takes a 21-15 lead as Sacred Heart calls timeout. Here we go. Donovan. Back to the power game for Sacred Heart, and Schmidberger hammers one down from the outside. Now Whitman in to serve for Sacred Heart, trailing by 5, 21-16. Chantel's pass to the front, now crossing. Tip. It lands in, point Minneapolis. Good time for that tip. They were there to block. Oh, that comes over. Hall with a tape shot. And the momentum of the ball rolled it right over the tape and on our side. Point Sacred Heart. Frazier sets the middle. Jordan. Good. Well, we're going to the middle. Crossing's there. We're going to have to use her up. This game's too short now. Minneapolis just needing 2 points to win this second game of the second match. Take his thing to 3. Now Krista serve is in good shape. Whitman's back set. Schmidberger. And it was wide. Krista tried for it, and it went out of bounds. Newhour back in. 6 foot and 6'1" up front right now for the Lady Knights. Now Schmidberger jump serve. Kind of taking some off of it. Just enough we couldn't get to it. Pass goes out of bounds. Back set, crossing. That's what we're looking for right there. 6-foot senior waiting for that nice set on the outside. Frazier put it right where it needed to be, and crossing hits a laser right down to the back row. Point. Now Sacred Heart. Kind of handcuffed Krista Seamers on that one. She didn't know which hand or elbow to hit with. It just, now we're match point, or game point anyway. Donovan with the cross court winner is dug out by Sacred Heart, and they tip it across. DeVries is there, but pass goes under the net. And Coach Mack would like to get the defense set here as Sacred Heart's back to within 3. Nice dig by Krista. Now back to Megan. It's across. She called it in. And that's the way it's going to end. 25-21. And we'll be back with the third game of this second match here in just a minute. Third game, second match. Sacred Heart will start out serving here. Frazier tips it on across, and Sacred Heart, what a recovery. Now the middle, Seamers with the tip. Nice pass by Chantel, and stuff kill by Schmidberger. Point, Sacred Heart. Back row pass goes over and hits the padded official stand. Point, Sacred Heart. Now Whitman. Frazier had to come get the pass, we're out of bounds, and her set, be it close to the net. No one else could get to that one, so another point, Sacred Heart. Nice pass by Megan. Now the outside crossing. That's out. Back set. Seamers down. Point Minneapolis. Got to use that whole floor. They were there to block the middle, and the back set was there. Seamers hammers one down. Now will serve. Jump set by Whitman, and Schmidberger has been the big gun here tonight for Lady Knights. Now Johnson. And Chantel could not handle that. That dying quail, that serve by Johnson was headed down to the floor. We could not get there. Now Tacey comes in to play back row. Oh, what a save by Frazier. Just dove for it, knocked it on over. Now Whitman off the shoulder of Donovan. Goes out of bounds. 7-1, Sacred Heart. I wonder if we're going to 15 or 25. We'll be back right after this timeout. Sacred Heart with the serve here. Donovan, nice pass to Frazier. Crossing, it's tipped. Sacred Heart recovers, and Whitman just leans back and hammers it across. Wow. Jordan Crossing with the big hit, and just rams it right on through the blockers down on the other side. Point Minneapolis. Now Frazier Whitman's set is way over, and Pratt heads one to the back line, and we cannot handle it. Deep and into the corner, and we had to cover.
Hedge. For the Knights, along with Jessica Francis.
Francis the libero, and Hedge the other big middle up front. Nice dig by Krista Seamers. Thought we had a tip at the net, but not. It goes out the back, and Jordan's big hit, all for naught. Jessica DeVries hammers one across. Now Donovan with a nice pick on the back row. DeVries with a big hit. Now Whitman for Lady Knights. And Frazier had to go clear the back row to get the set, to get that pass. As she turned to set it, it got double hit. Now Schmidberger. Donovan, good pass up front. Attacked from back behind the 10-foot line. Now Pratt, it's down.
Go.
11-2, Sacred Heart. We need to side out right here. Schmidberger. Pounds. Back set on the line. Frazier over the back.
Go right here.
Lands right on the line.
Good, Jordan.
Haley Hendricks back in for the Knights.
Never fails, last 10 points of the game. I will run out of tape, and that's exactly what happened here. Now Krista Seamers with a smash. Knights leading 18-6. Seamers, wow, that's a big hit. Use a lot more of those. Seamer serving for Minneapolis. Back row, Sacred Heart could not get it. Point Minneapolis. 18-8, down 10 here in the third game of this second match. And they call it good and out of bounds. It looked as if when Jordan tipped it over that it hit the girl's leg as she was kneeling down on the floor, which would have meant that she touched it. They call it a good point. Sacred Heart 19-8. as it came over. Crossan was there to hammer it down, and Pratt in the net. Tipped by Pratt. Now Frazier, middle set. Jordan, what a save by the libero. Now Crossan hammers it down to the back row. Saved by Sacred Heart. It comes across. Jordan with a big hit again. They cannot stop that one. 19-10. Big hit by Jordan Crossan. Whitman jumps at Pratt with a big block by Crossan. And Frazier saves at the net. That one's down. Pratt with a big hammer. Big swing by Katie Pratt. Hitch back in for Sacred Heart. Schmidberger. It's in the net. Point Sacred Heart. Schmidberger would be the basketball coach's daughter. Girls, I believe. Or football coach. Football coach, I believe. We tip one in. It lands in good for Minneapolis. Now Crossan will serve for Big Blue. In our red shirts tonight. Tipped by Donovan. Donovan with a nice tip. Don't. Crossan serve is over in good shape. Now Schmidberger with the set. Hedge with the big hit. Now Jessica DeVries with the save over there, but it is called for the left. 22-12 Sacred Heart. Frazier's pass comes right over. That's a left. Pratt about 3 foot up above the net. Took it both hands and shoved it down to the floor. Now DeVries pass or serves in good shape. Whitman with a monster hit. DeVries with the dig is saved by Donovan. And Katie Pratt finishes that one off right in front of our back row. Now Pratt. Lady Knights up 23-13, and that one's coming over. Frazier with a dive at it as it was headed to the floor. Could only get a hand on it as she pancaked out. It went under the net. Point to Sacred Heart, and this is match point. Tape shot. What a save by Pounds. Now Donovan sets it on over. Whitman with a big hit. We can't get to it. The pass from the back row goes clear to the other side, and Frazier could not get there. Point Sacred Heart, and that's the way it ends. 25-13, Sacred Heart wins the second match in 3. Minneapolis winning the middle game of the match. So Sacred Heart wins both matches, both JV matches, and I don't know about the other JV match over at the other building, but
Tonight, what a great way for the girls to start the season. to remind you that the
that's the way it'll end.
the Southeast Sling Tournament this Saturday morning, starting first game will be starting at 9 o'clock.
And we'll be back
Fans out supporting the girls.
later on.
This Saturday coming up.
Everyone remember the Linebackers Golf Tournament?
9 a.m.
Sunday, 3 o'clock, the 10th.
We have everyone's support. Thank you.
And we'll see you then.